He's just in time for a middle of the night unboxing from eBay. All right, we'll do this in fast motion. Chop, chop. All right, so I'm always looking for unusual, vintage, or antique crucifixes. And I'm hoping and praying that this one it is what I think it is. Because if it is, this is like hitting the holy grail of crucifixes. Okay, because I don't think I've ever seen one like this before, if it's true. Okay, so the seller said that it had a gem on the top, a blue gem. I don't know if you could see that. And they just thought it was a decoration and that this was a vintage crucifix. But it turns out this is a lot older than I think, because I can already see. Do you see that? You see the lines? This is file marks, boys and girls. So this means that this was hand filed. I don't know. Can we see? I do see file marks going through the... Yes, I see the file marks. Do you see that? See those little nicks in the bottom edge of there? I don't know if you can see that. This was hand filed. So that, yep, you can see it right there on the edges. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right, this crucifix can be as old as 1850, 1860. Now, for what I'm hoping it is, I'm hoping that this is a stanhope. And you're like, what the heck is a stanhope? I will show you what a stanhope is. All right, I'm hoping this is not a gem and that this is a stanhope. Basically, a stanhope is a microscopic, like, peephole. Yeah, it's a peephole. It's like you become a peeping Tom. They invented these in the 1850s, actually. All right, so basically, these were the souvenir that you wanted to bring back. It was a novelty that became very popular during the 19th century. And the objects ranged from pens to sewing accessories, to jewelry, and they're unique because they're tiny hidden images placed somewhere inside the object. So here we go. We have some examples of traditional stanhope items, including an acorn-shaped tape measure and a pen. So I don't know, and a needle case, right there, a needle case. Okay, so a portrait maker in Paris, after Benjamin Dancer, actually attached a microscope lens to a daguerreotype camera and produced micro photographs. It influenced René Degron, a portrait maker in Paris, to invent the stanhope by affixing a micro image to a lens. After these new developments, Degron manufactured novelties with tiny photographs in them beginning in the early 1860s. Eventually, stanhope novelties began to lose their popularity as souvenirs, and the last true stanhopes were made in 1972 by Roger Raymond. Now, this was also the form of the first pornography. Yup. So it's so tiny that people didn't notice it on objects. Well, as you can see, this nude lady here in one of the stanhope images. Let's blow it up. You see like some, in various forms of dress. By the way, in the Victorian era, this was risque. Showing your knee was totally risque. So men would also buy these stanhopes so they can see nudes. Yes, nudes. Okay, so we're going to look at various objects that are stanhopes. Sorry, we're looking at my computer screen. Yeah, this isn't going to be, an amazing stint. Okay, so here we go. Here's some objects. This is a stanhope bowl. The viewing lens cylinder is located in the smaller diameter opening. This would have been a pendant around a lady's neck. Here's some other cool stuff. A stanhope right here. This is showing a city in Germany with photographs inside of it. Don't know if you can see that, but I don't know what this object is. It's some kind of possible needle punch or something like that. Look, a stanhope ring. Let's click on that. And you can see it has a crystal lens built into it, which is quite cool, boys and girls. And it was actually mass produced. And it says the viewers were first introduced to the general public at the 1859 International Fair in Paris. The success of the viewers enabled Dragon to purpose build a factory dedicated to their production. As of June 1859, De Groen's factory was manufacturing the stanhopes mounted in jewelry and souvenirs. In August of 1859, he exhibited them at the International Exhibition in Paris, where they met with great success. In 1862, he had 150 employees and was manufacturing 12,000 units a day. In 1860, de Groen obtained the patent for his viewer under the title Bijou Photo Micros. Yeah, not going to even attempt. De Groen also developed mail-order marketing techniques for the viewers. In 1862, de Groen published the book Cylindres Photo Microscopiques, Montes et non montes sur Bijou. I can't do French. The same year, de Groen displayed the devices at the 1862 International Exhibition in London, where he received honorable mention and presented them to Queen Victoria. He became famous when he produced, by the way, in 1864, a Stanhope optical viewer, which enabled the viewing of a micrograph, 1 square I don't know how big that is, but it's probably teeny tiny. Oh, equivalent to the size of the head of a pin. That included the portraits of 450 people, boys and girls. Now, from the 20th century onwards, in the early 20th century, Eugene Raymond took control of de Groen's Stanhope lens factory at Gex, France. He was succeeded in the management of the factory by his son Roger. In 1972, the factory run by Roger Raymond produced the last Stanhope lens made by the traditional methods. Yeah, pretty sad. Well, it turns out that my item, I wanted to save the surprise for later, is a Stanhope. I got extremely lucky because, as you can see, some of these old ones, this is the Civil War era. It's actually a letter opener, and they sell for quite a bit of money because people want these objects. It's in the shape of an alligator, and I don't even know, do you see the Stanhope anywhere? I don't see it. That's how tiny they are. Very, very hard to find them. And when you look inside of it, you get a little view of this. And it says, Lookout Mountain. Look at that. The pictures were never really good. Let's face it. I mean, they really never. There it is. Right there. That's the little peephole. But they were never really very good. Let's look at some other pieces. And these are highly, highly collectible. We have a Civil War Gettysburg battle soldier whistle. Okay, for $325 hairs. That's where the little Stanhope is. And the image you would see is this. Very blurry, really not that wonderful. But this one is made out of ivory, right there, or bone. $325 hairs. Okay, so here we have a Civil War bullet with a Stanhope viewer in it. And yes, that is absolutely the coolest thing ever. Let's take a look at that. Look at that, boys and girls. And you see the National Cemetery of Antietam, Maryland. And it's not very good. It's very, I'm telling you, these objects are not very, very fantastic or wonderful. $385. And here we go, a pepper box pistol flintlock revolver. This one is from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, $450 hairs. And there we got the little crystal lens right there. Now, as they, as we get to the 20th century, they started using like Bakelite or Bakelite. I guess I can never pronounce that word right. Or some kind of celluloid type of plastic viewers. They weren't as good as the real crystal ones, but this one is really absolutely amazing. And wow, to have this in your collection is an amazement. Now here we have an antique Kentucky flintlock long barrel pistol Stanhope souvenir of Buffalo Bill Cody, $795 hairs. And there's the little viewing window. Let's check this out. And you would see an image of Wild Bill or Buffalo Bill. Really terrible, but yet really an amazing thing of the time. You could not really imagine how amazing this technology was. Now here's a Civil War bullet, and you can see the crystal coming out of the side of this right there. Really, that's how you can tell an old one. It uses real crystal glass. And let's try to see, can we even see the image in here? Apparently they can't even show it to you, but You see how the crystal sticks out of it? And this bullet is selling for $650 with Lincoln doing the Gettysburg like address in this photo. A photo of Lincoln. Holy cow. Okay, so I'm trying to come out with an exact date for this. Very hard to do. Now, I do collect these ebonized or these wood panel crucifixes. And I'll show you, they didn't change very much in many, many decades. Let me grab another one to show you guys. Hold on. I have a bunch of them. This one is a true 1850s, 1860s panel ebonized wood crucifix. And most of these were made in France, Germany, and Italy. Let's get another one. This one is from the 1920s. And this has medallions from the Vatican in it with a wood panel. And then we have another one. Let me just go find it. This one has olive wood, I believe, or oak. And these ones are all later, except for this one is a very, very early one. We have file marks on it. I don't know if you can see that. You see the little lines? That's how you know it's old. When it doesn't have file marks, it was machine made. This one has file marks, boys and girls. It will also, we have nails holding Jesus onto the crucifix that are very different from this. So it's bent nails. So we do know that this is very, very old. Don't know what kind of wood that is. Could be olive wood. And let's go ahead and take a look at this amazing wonder. Do you see that right there? And that is real crystal. You can clearly see that this is real crystal. Let's go ahead and try to show you. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, you can see that. Look at the type of glass. Yup, this is very old. This could be as early as the 1860s. And then on the other side, look at that. Now, the person just thought it was a gem. And you can see, look at the file marks on this. Do you see that? That is the coolest thing ever. Now on the back, it looks, look how ancient this is. Do you see the tool marks? I don't know if you see this going around it. Do you see that? So let's try to look through this. Now I'm going to actually show you. Look at that. All right, so this crucifix, in my opinion, is worth at least $500. I've never seen this before in all my years of collecting. I've never seen a crucifix like this. Let's try to attempt to look inside of it. Can you see that at the bottom? It's the crucifixion of Jesus. And that's the bottom part. That's his legs. And I'm trying to show you guys. There we go. Oh, we almost had it. Damn it. My camera's doing this autofocus thing. There we go. Do you see Jesus in there? In color. In color. I've never seen this before in color. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's going to be very hard. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, and my camera's a jerk. All right, let's attempt to look through this thing again. Very hard to show you what I want to show you. It's like a church stained glass window. I don't know if you could see this, but it reminds me of a church's stained glass window. It's really beautiful. You could see it way better, of course, without my camera. I don't know how we're going to try to get a focus on this, but yeah, this is just unbelievable, guys. So I took a chance on this. When everything was said and done with tax and shipping, it cost me $50, but it was a great score. And even if it didn't have much value, it would actually be so intriguingly cool that it's just really an amusement. You know what I'm saying? So here's these other ones. Again, this one's from the 1860s to about the 1880s. This one is from the 1920s. And you can see these how these crucifixes are very different. This one is from the 30s. And they really didn't change much, as you can see. Over 100 and something years. They really did not change very much. They were very, very similar in execution. Again, made in France, Germany, and Italy. Now, what's really cool is these were also known as Grand Tour souvenirs. So if I was to sell this, people that collect European Grand Tour souvenirs would really go insane over this. Not to mention people that collect old antique stanhopes, and also people that collect religious articles would really go gaga over this. And so this is a really great score. If I had my Etsy shop, I would not let this go for less than $500. I've never seen another one like it. I scoured the internet for hours and did not find one other Stanhope antique crucifix like this. As a matter of fact, I didn't find any. I'm sure they're out there. But yeah, I'm telling you, this is that's how rare it is. You know, I'm the grand supreme at researching stuff. And I mean, you might find a little cross that you'd wear around your neck with stanhopes in it that are antique, like a little pendant, but I've never seen an actual crucifix that is a crucifix alone and not a pendant that had this. And again, look at the old glass on that. Do you see that? Let's turn it around on the back. It looks like a jewel. You can see the tool marks on this. This was made by hand. Look at all that tool mark. Now, this could have been a pilgrimage crucifix. Not only was it a Grand Tour collectible. Again, look at the hand tooling on the edges. You see the little lines on the edges of the trefoil. This is known as a trefoil design or a butted crucifix. And so people that collect all different, types of things like stanhopes or religious articles, or also these really cool novelties that they used to bring back from the time of Napoleon III and earlier, especially the 1700s to the early to the mid to the late 1800s, to bring back European collectibles. Also, it could be a pilgrimage crucifix. They could have been one of the major churches in Europe, especially in France, that this could have been purchased at back in the day, brought home, and to mystify all the friends and family members. Hey, take a look at this cool thing. You can look in there and see Jesus Christ in there. And so this is really a fun thing. I was so glad to share this with you. This unboxing has been an amazing find for me. I doubt I'll find another one. I'm so glad I paid the $50 for it with the tax and the shipping. It was like a fluke. I was just like, I just found it in the middle of the night. Would I buy it now? I decided to buy it, and boom, I just had an inkling it could be a stanhope and not just a jewel. And I'm glad the seller was none the wiser, because this would have at least been listed at a minimum of $150 to $200, and the price would have probably shot up at the end of the auction. So thanks for watching. See you guys all soon. And yeah, we're going to continue to keep finding these cool and amazing artifacts of history, not only religious history, but novelty history.